Well, hey everybody, John Rethlin here, and this is every WWE Divas champion ranked from worst to best. You remember the Divas title? The stupid little butterfly bastardized title that it was, looked like a little, something you got out of a weird toy trinket box, something you would get out of a goddamn vending machine if the vending machine was about 4 feet tall, or something you might win in a knockoff carnival where you have to spray down the carnies with a pressure washer every goddamn hour because they're so filthy, and the carnival rides haven't been maintained since 1940. The Divas Championship was fucking atrocious, and I mean ugly. I'm talking like looks-wise. It was fucking ugly. There were some tremendous talents that held it and did the best they could despite the fact it was the ugliest title in the history of WWE, at least that was seen on TV. Now, I can't really think of too many that were worse looking, at least my personal opinion, but it devalued how good a lot of these women were. And let's be perfectly honest, for the it was almost actually active for about 8 years. It was like mid-July or end of July 08 till April 3rd, 2016 at WrestleMania 32 that it was finally retired. Thank fucking Christ it was retired. But I thought I would take a look and probably be a little controversial with this list and rank all 17 of the, 17 different women that held the title and rank them from worst to best. You guys can probably guess where I ranked some of them. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Let's find out. So we get number 17, Jillian Hall. She held it for 5 minutes. Not even a day. Jillian Hall was doomed from the start once she got called up to the main roster. They put a weird mole on her face, a mole. And then Boogeyman ate the mole. And then she did a weird karaoke gimmick where she couldn't sing very well. I'm not saying Jillian would have been a freaking world champion. I don't even know where she's at now. I don't know if she got into acting. I don't think she's doing that much wrestling. I'm not saying she would have been a multi-time champion or anybody they could have taken seriously, but they saddled her with so many comedy gimmicks. I mean, how the fuck, she could have been freaking, Mildred Burke in the goddamn ring, and nobody would have been able to take her seriously after that. So yeah, 5 minutes, come on, you gotta rank that as the worst. Number 16, Brie Bella. She held it for 70 days. 70 days, that is 70 days too goddamn long for one of the worst women's wrestlers in the history of the company. I'm sorry. Brie Bella tried. She did get back in the ring after she had her kid. And credit to her, inspired some other women where it's like, oh, hey, I had a kid. Maybe I can get back and do that stuff. Whatever you're doing, you can do better than Brie Bella did in the goddamn ring. I'm sorry. Brie Bella was atrocious. Granted, this was well before she had a kid. Not that you would have been able to tell since she had 2 goddamn left feet or even 1 left foot since she couldn't do anything in the ring. But yeah, she held it for 70 days. 70 motherfucking days. There were people that didn't hold major titles for that long that were way better than Brie Bella could have ever been in the ring. Now, to be fair, at this point, and with some of these other reigns, WWE was not treating their women's wrestlers all that well. They really weren't. Despite some of the talents they had from top to bottom, even during the Trish and Lita days, they had some other women, Victoria, Molly Holly, Mickie James, and a few others. And I'm talking like between the time that Trish and Lita were active competitors. Jazz, even though Jazz got injured a little too often. It's not her fault, but unfortunately it took her out of a lot of big angles. And there were others. Forgive me if I don't remember some of them. But yeah, I'm sorry. Brie Bella as champion. There's a few reasons why I have disdain for the Bellas. I just never understood the appeal. It's fine if there are people that are fans of them. I just don't fucking get it. And then we go number 15, Alicia Fox. Held it for 56 days and was 1 reign. This much I remember about Alicia Fox. I think she beat Maurice for it. I think. But I know she lost it to Melina, at SummerSlam 2010. It was Cameron's favorite WWE match. I'm not going to let that go, ever. Cameron, please, for the love of God, don't bring her back because we never needed her in the first place. Alicia Fox, 56 days. I hope, and as of right now, I don't know if she's gotten her apparent issues like she showed up to a house show intoxicated a couple months ago and refused rehab. Hopefully she can actually get the help she needs if she needs it and get back in the ring and maybe give her a chance at the title again if she proves herself. I mean, she's been with the company long enough. They've given the title to people for less time in the ring. Why the fuck not? But unfortunately, all I remember about Alicia is that match with Melina at SummerSlam 2010, which, admittedly, I mean, the women tried the best they could. It was just treated like a throwaway match. So, yeah, sorry, all due respect to Alicia and how great she is in the ring, I have to knock this down to number 15. Number 14, Natalya. She held it for 70 days. I mean, it's Natalya. She deserved better than to hold that stupid butterfly belt. And she is really incredible in the ring. Has been incredible in the ring since before her WWE debut. But even in all her time in WWE, like the horrible fart gimmick that they gave her. That is something right there where she deserves a contract for life for putting up with that shit and doing everything she could to make that work. I would have just fucking said, you know what, fuck it, no, I'm gonna sit at home. If I had been a wrestler and they'd said, yeah, we're gonna give you this gimmick, no, you're fucking not. I'll fucking go sit at home and you can pay me or you can, hold me under contract until, I'm done in a year or whatever. That just fucking rotten. But that aside, I don't remember too much about her being champion because it was just during that weird glut of like, we have a Divas champion, we have a women's champion, and even after after reigns like that, Natty deserved better. I mean, she lended some credibility wrestling-wise to the title, but there really wasn't much to it. There just really wasn't. I mean, 70 days, like that's just over 2 months, which, yes, according to math, that's actually how it works. So I got to rank Natty low. I hate ranking Natty this low, but I got it. We then go to number 13, Mickie James, with 79 days. Mickie James deserves so much fucking better in the last couple of years of her career. In her first run in WWE. The whole Mickie James thing and all that stuff and whatever that bullshit is. She deserves so much better than she got. Now, her as Divas champion, she lent a lot of credibility wrestling-wise to it, but again, nothing was really going to save that belt during this time. It was just seen as one of the ugliest belts in the history of WWE. So it was going to take a lot for, people to really take it seriously. And unfortunately, WWE had beaten the fans over the head for years and years and years. After Trish and Lita had left and they had marginalized Victoria and Molly Holly was out of the business, they had made it where it's like, okay, hey, why the fuck would you care about the women's wrestling? Why would you care about the matches? We're going to treat them like throwaways. Eventually, people just stopped caring about the matches. Save for a few hardcore fans that knew how good these women were. And Mickie did the best she could. But yeah, sorry, it's like the one reign she had. She had a couple reigns as women's champion that was a lot better than this. But 79 days, okay, things are improving, but whatever. It is what it is. And then we get to number 12. Nikki Bella, 307 days over 2 reigns, and she had one reign that I believe in 2012, it was for like 6 days, and she lost it to Layla. That is one reason why I love Layla. That, and also I think Layla's amazing, and maybe a bit underappreciated, though she's been out of wrestling for a number of years. So you would be forgiven if you forgot, about Layla until I reminded you. Though I love Layla, I think she's great. I would love to see her have a one-off return with Michelle McCool, since they were great together. But Nikki Bella, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm ranking her this low, and I don't really fucking care if this offends anybody. 301 pissing horrific days. And yes, I emphasize that, word intentionally. I'm going to go off on a bit of a rant here, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for it. There is no way that Nikki Bella would have been champion for 301 days if not for 2 things. One, WWE wanting to spite AJ Lee because AJ Lee wanted to leave. Not that you blamed AJ Lee for wanting to leave, because she had done everything she could, her and others. I'm certainly not saying that AJ Lee was the sole person that brought, credibility to that title. But at that time, AJ Lee did whatever she could, had that feud with Paige, and then lost to Nikki Bella in this terrible Survivor Series match where Brie kissed AJ. Why the fuck? Oh yeah, but of course, Nikki, suggested, wanted to suggest to Brie to kiss AJ, but she never told anyone until just now. And that's right, the growing up Bella, throwing up Bella, that bullshit. I wish that gimmick, and I wish this title reign had died in the motherfucking womb. Not the person. I get nothing against Nikki as a person. She hurt her neck, got back in the ring, knowing the risks, tried to do some great things, didn't really do them, but whatever. I'm not going to fault anybody for trying to get back in the ring. She beat her body up during her reign, and her reign was fucking atrocious. Now, whether that was because of creative, whether that was because of her, whatever the fucking reason is, there is nobody that can't tell me that as far as long reigns, that Nikki Bella's Divas title reign was the darkest period for the title. It was. And it clearly was. I mean, yes, you could say, oh, about some of the earlier reigns that I said, you could throw about Brie Bella. And yeah, it was 70 days. But that's also when there weren't a ton of women that were being taken all that seriously on the roster. There is no fucking reason why. There is no reason why Nikki Bella should have held it for 301 days, except, sorry to say, it's because of the relationship with Cena. And people can hurl hate at me all they want. Because I would say the same thing if Nikki Bella was a better worker and Cena latched onto her. That's exactly what it was. There is no other reason except for AJ Lee wanting to leave and, oh, let's do a spite reign. Let's have her hold it for 301 days. Now, had they fully gone in on this and had her defend it on every pay-per-view and done a countdown clock, a clock countdown thing, instead of introducing it in July, like some 8 months into her reign, if they had just leaned into this whole thing and said, oh, I'm going to be the greatest Divas champion of all time, the longest reigning, and I'm going to do a countdown every single day. Okay, then you're actually doing something with it. It's as much on creative as it is on Nikki, and I'm sorry, Nikki didn't deserve to hold the title for one goddamn day, let alone 301 days. There is no reason why. Oh, she got better in the ring. Well, when you're at the level of Pond Scum, all you can do is go up. And I'm sorry, but if it wasn't for her banging Cena, she wouldn't have fucking been Divas champion for that long. She wouldn't even been, in the company all that long. Oh, Total Divas was because of the Bellas. Total Divas was because WWE needed an excuse to put a whole bunch of women on TV. I love Natalya, and I watched Total Divas for a while. I actually did. I actually enjoyed it. And I love quite a few of the cast members. And now you got the Total Bellas thing, which, whatever. Who cares? I mean, they got their success, they got their lives, they got their millions, they got their own brand, whatever. Nothing I fucking say is going to change that. But I am going to state my opinion as a fan that Nikki Bella's title reign was fucking rotten. It was atrocious. It was an embarrassment to women's wrestling when you got way better women. Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, Naomi. And nothing against Naomi. I'm not slighting Naomi there, but Naomi, even at that point in 2015, could have deserved a reign as Divas champion, as opposed to Nikki Bella, who was fucking atrocious. Give it to Tamina, for God's sakes, even though Tamina couldn't stop being injured if you, just freaking, had a slight breeze blow on her. But good God, 301 pissing fucking days for Nikki Bella. Why? Because she banged Cena? Congratulations. 301 days, and it was atrocious. Again, happy that Nikki was able to retire with her health intact. It's unfortunate that her neck got hurt, and I wish no ill will on her as a person, but as a wrestler, as a champion, no. It was a fucking dark-ass period in WWE. It made women seem ridiculous, like, oh, Paige, AJ. I mean, AJ was gone by after WrestleMania 31 anyway, but you got all these women that could do so much better. They could wrestle so much better. You had Emma, that was great. Nope, let's give it to Nikki Bella, who couldn't even do anything goddamn right in the ring. And that match with Ronda Rousey at Evolution should have not been the main event, because Ronda Rousey deserved to be in the main event, but not Nikki Bella. So yeah, fucking terrible title reign. I spent enough time on that. Let's go to Kelly Kelly. She held it for 104 days and had one reign. Yeah, I'm ranking Kelly Kelly above Nikki Bella. I'm no fan of Kelly Kelly in the ring, apparently. Kelly Kelly is super nice to her fans. I'm sure she's super nice. And I want to say this, as somebody that says that Kelly Kelly botches a lot in the ring. She did botch a lot in the ring, but I want to add a little bit of devil's advocate, stuff to it. Let me just play devil's advocate here, because I'm no fan of her. I didn't like her in the ring. I thought she was atrocious. But also, they probably trained her about that much and said, yeah, go out in the ring, run the ropes. And she couldn't really run the ropes because she hadn't been trained. So for her to last 6 years, roughly, in the ring, and then have a couple one-off appearances afterwards, that's overachieving right there. She did a whole lot better than even maybe I want to give her credit for. Because take a look at her first pay-per-view match. It was like, her and Mike Knox versus Kevin Thorne and Ariel. Shelly Martinez. Yeah, that wasn't very good. But she was Divas champion at one point. I believe she beat Brie Bella. Thank God. It was Kelly Kelly and Brie Bella at Over the Limit 2011. That's the kind of match that I got to see live, which, I'm sorry, but when I'm cheering for Kelly Kelly in a ring, something's bad. just because I never cared for her in the ring. Again, I'm sure she's nice. One main reason why I'm ranking it this low, though, I am ranking it above Nikki Bella because at this time, besides Beth Phoenix and a couple of, I mean, you had Alicia Fox, but they had beaten Alicia Fox power. They didn't care about her. Melina was gone. They didn't really have a whole lot of women. Natalia, and I mean, they had Natalia, but they had a few others. But a lot of women had retired or were injured. I mean, I think Layla had even gotten a knee injury and was out for almost a year after beating Michelle McCool. So yeah, they had a low, amount of talent there. So they gave it to Kelly Kelly. The one reason I'm ranking Kelly Kelly's reign this low, though, is because there was no reason for her to lose or to beat Beth Phoenix at Night of Champions 2011, which I believe was in Beth Phoenix's hometown of Buffalo, New York. And that's as much on creative as it is on Kelly. I mean, I'm not trying to imply that. Kelly tried. She did what she could. No, I don't care for her in the ring. I'm sure she is a good person. I'm sure she's a sweet person. I've talked to various people that met her and said she's a sweetheart. I'm sure she is. I'm sure if I ever fucking met her, I'd say, hey, it'd be, that'd be cool. Good for her. Good for her for getting the most out of her career despite not really having all that much wrestling talent. So, is what it is. I'm ranking her above Nikki Bella, though, because Kelly's reign was the least tolerable outside of beating Beth Phoenix in Buffalo, New York. That's like the one time I didn't necessarily care for it, because I'm like, okay, now it's just fucking silly. Now it's just fucking stupid. Because nobody believed it. Whether Kelly had improved in the ring or not, Beth Phoenix was miles ahead of her. But anyway, yeah, I'm ranking Kelly above Nikki Bella, because again, I could tolerate Kelly's reign a lot more. So we get to number 10, Melina, 119 days over 2 reigns. Melina, apparent backstage attitude aside, I don't know how true it is. I don't know. She was a damn good wrestler. She could get a whole lot of heat when she was managing Eminem, when she finally, transferred in or transitioned into being a wrestler. And, well, at least on TV, even though she'd been training for a bit. Her and Beth had an incredible feud. Melina did a whole lot better in WWE than someone to give her credit for. Some may forget about that. Yeah, she was out of the company pretty much by early to mid 2011, which is unfortunate, but she seems to be doing fine on the indies and various other promotions that she's with, or that she gets spots in. Hey, she got 2 reigns out of it. I mean, yeah, it was under 120 days, but it was what it was. Melina lent some credibility to that title. Some. At least she could wrestle. We get number 9, Paige, 121 days over 2 reigns. There is one thing memorable about Paige's reigns. When she beat AJ, her first night on Raw, her main roster debut. Other than that, I can't tell you anything really that happened with that. I remember AJ came back after a few months, married, after being married to CM Punk, or I think just getting married to him, and then beat Paige soon after, and then Paige beat her, and then AJ beat her again. It made no goddamn sense. It was ridiculous. It really was ridiculous. You can't hot potato a title back and forth like that. But Paige's win against AJ on the Raw right after WrestleMania, what the fuck was it? WrestleMania 30? I had to think about it. It was like 32. Wait, that's not right. WrestleMania 30. That was it. That was the most memorable part of it. I can't really name anything else memorable, but Paige having these 2 reigns, that moment alone elevates her at least into the top 10. Then we get to number 8, Layla, 140 days, 1 reign. I love Layla. I think Layla is awesome. That's really about it right there. Yeah, maybe it's a little bit of a bias. I'm not saying Layla was like Ricky Steamboat in the goddamn ring, but I thought she was pretty damn good and really did improve from being, just at first Michelle McCool's lackey. And that's nothing against Michelle McCool, but Layla also did the whole, it was like the extreme expose. It was her, it was Layla, Kelly, and Brooke Adams, I believe. Brooke Adams, who actually became Miss Tessmacher in Impact and actually did improve quite a bit and got pretty good in the ring. And her and Tara, Victoria, were a pretty good tag team. But Layla I enjoyed. I just thought that Layla had a good, presence about her and got better in the ring. Again, I'm not saying she was perfect, but I enjoyed her reign. I thought it was pretty good. And hey, she beat Nikki Bella for it on her return and held it for a while. Good stuff there. You know, you beat Nikki Bella for it. That's great. That's great. And that actually marked Nikki and Bree's last appearance for about a year. And then they returned to to fanfare that I didn't understand. But whatever, they aren't my cup of tea. So anyway, after I just got done lambasting both of them earlier. Number 7, Caitlyn, 1 reign, 153 days. They had the main reason I put this just above Layla is the Caitlyn Eve feud, where Eve kept doing everything she could to get out of dropping it to Caitlyn, all that stuff. That was pretty good. Caitlyn really did have. I think she beat her in like early 2013, and then held it till like I want to say June of 2013, May or June. I think it might have been June. But this was, that was actually a pretty underappreciated feud. It wasn't great. It did start to, slack off a little bit because it went on a little too long. But I give credit to both those women who were not really given that many opportunities before for getting out there, improving in the ring, and doing some great things. So yeah, Caitlyn winning there, that was pretty cool. And that marked Eve's last appearance in the ring, I think, ever. I don't think she's done anything since. I think she's appeared at some fan accesses and stuff like that, but I think that's it. But yeah, Caitlyn. Enjoy Caitlyn, and hopefully she gets a chance to return, maybe in NXT. I mean, she did pretty good in Mae Young Classic 2. She did actually improve quite a bit. We get to number 6, Maryse. 260 plus days over 2 reigns. I believe at the time until AJ and then Nikki, because unfortunately Nikki had to have the record by being on top of Cena. I should let that go. Except that was the main reason that she got the title. But anyway, Maryse, until AJ came along and held it for as long as she did. I think Maryse was the longest reigning Divas champion, and I really can't tell you much of what Maryse did. She had a hell of a DDT. She hit that. She had cool music. But I cannot tell you anything else about her reigns. I can't. I just, it's like I just totally blanked it out. But I do remember her holding it for a while, and I remember her being better in the ring than you might have thought, and that I might have thought. So good on her. And she got out of the ring, with her body still well intact, and returned to the ring for a couple matches. But and that's nothing against Maryse, but it's like, it was terrible stuff. She faced off against both Bella sisters, one at Mania 33, and then another at, Hell in a Cell 2018. That was good stuff. Them pretty much destroying that Miz versus Daniel Bryan feud. But yeah, Maryse, 260 plus days over 2 reigns. It was fine. It was fine. She was good, especially at that point when they didn't want to utilize their women a lot. Hey, Maryse was a good heel, and she got a lot of heat. Number 5, Eve Torres, 260 plus days, 3 reigns. I like Eve. I think Eve's very underappreciated. I would like to see Eve make a return, and they aren't going to do an Evolution pay-per-view, but if they wanted to, bring a legend back, and I mean, that's stretching the term legend, but if they wanted to bring somebody back that hadn't been in the ring for a while, like, they brought back Molly Holly and others like that. One, they should have brought Victoria into the Royal Rumble this year, because this is her last year in wrestling, which is a shame, because I would have liked to have seen her there, but I would like to see Eve make an appearance in next year's Rumble. Why the fuck not? Eve still, as far as I can tell, is A, in phenomenal shape, B, has a good rapport with the company, and why not give a pretty good pop? And Eve was pretty good in the ring. Hit a hell of a moonsault. I actually got to see that live when you had the Jerry the King Lawler and Michael Cole Kiss My Foot match, and then Eve appeared and actually beat up Cole. That was great stuff. But yeah, Eve actually can hit an incredible moonsault, and I'd like to see her return. But I liked her title reigns, and again, that feud with Caitlyn I mentioned before, that was pretty good stuff. Eve being the one, she was the one that took it off of Layla and then turned heel and everything. It was obviously going to be, her turning heel. It was good stuff. I enjoyed it. And then we get number 4, Charlotte, 196 days, 1 reign. And this transitioned into her having the women's title for a few months after that, because the Divas title was retired at Mania 32, and her reign continued as women's champion. So it was like almost a year. I think it was like 10 months, something like that. 10 months, maybe more. But yeah, Charlotte at least brought back credibility to that title because, 1, she could actually wrestle. I mean, yeah, you could make the argument, oh, she only got there because of her dad. She actually can wrestle and had to really put in the work. And yeah, maybe I'm being biased, but whatever. She has been afforded a lot of opportunities, but she has also excelled at those opportunities. 196 days, got to rank her up here because she, being the last Divas champion, thank God it was somebody good and not somebody atrocious. Thank God forbid if Nikki Bella would have been the last Divas champion, that title would have ended with a whimper. But Charlotte deserves to be there at number 4. Michelle McCool, number 3. 2 reigns, 220 plus days. I'm not the biggest Michelle McCool fan, and that may surprise some people. It never was. I don't know. The Faith Breaker, her using Styles as Styles Clash. I don't know. I didn't think she hit all that well. She could wrestle. She could. I will give her that much credit. She improved a lot. She was good. Again, I'm not her biggest fan, but I can certainly understand and appreciate what she did, and she is quite good. So that's why she's here at number 3. Number 2, Beth Phoenix, 204 days, 1 reign. Beth absolutely brought massive credibility to that title. A ton of credibility. I have a ton of respect for Beth Phoenix. Happy to see her back in the ring. Can't wait to see if she has some more appearances and does some great things. Maybe gets a shot. Maybe gets a run with the women's tag titles. Who knows? I think she's just going to be back to put people over for a few months. But I'm all for her making sporadic appearances. I think she did a phenomenal job with the title. Especially since if I'm right, she took it from Kelly Kelly. Oh, God, and then they had Nikki Bella beat her. Okay, poor Beth. Beth Phoenix deserved to be in the Hall of Fame for just putting Nikki Bella over. Yeah, that's bad. Number 1, come on, AJ Lee. 406 days, 3 reigns. It was like 295 days, I think, that she got as champion. 294, 295 days as champion. Then again, Nikki Bella broke with the record because, of the fact that she was so good in the ring. But AJ Lee deserves to be number 1. And this is nothing against the other women and the women that I praised here in the counter, but AJ Lee deserved to be number 1. She did the best she could with the title. I'm not saying she was great in the ring. She was much better on the mic. She was in the ring. She could sell her ass off. She could hit some good moves. But honestly, I mean, she had a hell of a submission, I will say that. But she deserves to be here, mainly because of just all the stuff that she did and how well she, lent so much credibility to that title and how she did, how just great she was. Even if she wasn't great in the ring, she was a great presence and did a lot for that title. But that's what I have to say. Can't wait to see the hate comments I get on this. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin, and I will see you soon.